Hello, beautiful people of the internet. My name is Whelsko, and today we're gonna take a look at the Season 4 Battle Pass for Modern Warfare. This is, of course, for both Warzone, multiplayer, I guess Spec Ops, and single player. I'm not entirely sure about that one. But, again, it's a model popularized by Fortnite. It's done incredibly well, and I think its success will be emulated for years to come. This one features, of course, the Captain Price, and of course the previous two we had the Ghost in Season 2, which is probably the more famous if we compare Price and Ghost. I think Ghost is way more famous simply because of his mask, and of course the events that conspired in Modern Warfare 2. But Price, nonetheless, also an iconic character, and definitely is a little bit more iconic than Alex, because simply put, Price is, of course, one of the the biggest main guy in the Modern Warfare franchise. So I think a lot of people would definitely like to, be able to play as him. Of course, when you use operators, or at least use iconic characters in such a way, it kind of diminishes their value. And so you will not have, how shall we put it, it's like, if they are put on such a pedestal because they're so unique characters, and then all of a sudden everybody and their mom can play with them, their value gets diluted a little bit, but hey, that's okay. So, this is the main guy from Season 4. I think, again, an excellent. You can't have Ghost every time, of course. And Price, beloved, I absolutely love it. His finishing move, as we will see in a bit, is also absolutely fantastic. So, that being said, the Battle Pass and its completion. Generally, I like to take a look at these to see a little bit of what the value is in its entirety. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. In this case, I think it's an all-round balanced thing. One of the new things that they added was the horns. So every time you go for a vehicle, or use a vehicle, you can select different horns. And absolutely, I'm in love with this one. I have like an entire video dedicated to this one. Well, not the video itself per se, but it's a gameplay moment where basically I did nothing else than use that to spam the living hell out of my teammates. And, it's a little bit annoying to say the least. But that's what it's made for. Like, I can't imagine the most serious of players using this as much. And it's actually quite a cool gimmick. It's one of those things that, adds more to the Battle Pass. And you can say, is it that useful? Not really. I mean, if you're driving around, I don't know, in multiplayer it's definitely not useful because you have way less HP. But in Warzone, if everybody sees you driving on the minimap anyway, you might as well just taunt the horn and, show your dominance. That being said, it's more of a gimmick than an actual function, and if we're really gonna be debating if this would be pay to win or not, this is definitely a pay to lose, because obviously you make a big noise and give away your position. But I'm sure probably in some situations it can be quite beneficial. But definitely love the Ride of Valkyries. Absolutely in love with this one. So we have, of course, this 10% experience, I think it is. That means that everything you do as soon as you bought the Battle Pass will give you an extra bit of experience, which is always nice. If you pay for it, you might as well get some more convenience out of it. In essence, it's more convenience than anything, because if you play 10 games as a premium user, that 11th game you get for free, while on the normal side you simply go forward. Again, classic pistol, nothing too special about. The calling cards, again, especially the animated ones, I absolutely love them. I think they're beautiful, beautiful pieces of art that often get overlooked, because they're so small and they're so negligent, stupid like that. Like in game you don't see them as much, unfortunately, because you are of course busy doing else. They appear always, and it's good of a way to show off. Um, that's why I've like this one. This one stands out. It's simplistic. It you know, you will notice it if you see it. But one like this, it's amazing, but you know, it doesn't really strike someone because it takes too much time to how shall we put it, capture it with your senses. That's a little bit too much in game. While this one, it's a simple, you know, you see a skull and the blood is coming out of the mouth of the skull. You see that, you know. But then again, stuff like this, like it's always nice to see them appear in game, and especially one like this. I absolutely in love with it. Absolutely think they're fantastic. This one too. Like again, the art. I've said it from the beginning of Black Ops 4. I think where we did the reviews, the Battlepass reviews. You know, they are absolutely fantastic. This one, for example, it's not that much. Like, I think if you really want to impress your enemies or your friends with calling cards, it's better to do it with these cartoony ones than these more realistic ones, or these, I would say, abstract ones like this one. You know, this one, or this one, or this one. They all hold more power, let's say, or this one. Simply because they are easier to process in your mind, you know. The less detail something has, the less effort it takes to recognize it. But you know, like this one, it's a little bit too vague. Not a lot of colors popped. It's not good if you want to impress your enemies or at least show off on them. And unfortunately, that's what calling cards are made for, because you will see, either your teammates will see that whenever you get revived or get out of a gulag or something, or your enemies will see that when they kill you. But other than that, they don't really get used that much. So, Emblem is the same, of course. Then again, you know, it's a nice thing. And again, we have to have filler content. I've talked about this many times before. Without filler content, you know, the Battle Pass basically feels like a skin bundle. Now it feels like a Battle Pass. There's a very minute difference in there. One is, of course, that, you know, a skin bundle is just a bunch of skins, while a Battle Pass is something, a journey that you aim towards. There we go. Little kitty cat. And again, you have to put a Battle Pass full of those filling items. Again, Emblem, absolutely love them. But unfortunately, emblems, they're neglectable. The calling cards kind of stand out a little bit. The goddamn kitty, huh? Now, there's always a knife in there, and that's actually quite the lovely surprise. This one is a reference to Modern Warfare 2, where you actually were forced in the gulag. in the gulag. There's like this mission where you're in the gulag with Price, if I'm not mistaken. So it's always nice to see that return. How do I record with you around? So after giving the pussy some attention, let's continue our journey. We're gonna keep it a little bit condensed, as we've covered a lot of these things before. These god points, the XP boost, the emblems, the sprays, the charms. And those are all filler content, and we don't actually use or need to talk about it that much. These ones, these sprays, I do like because, you know, they have some value, let's say, in the field where you could confuse your enemies within. But that being said, the blueprints again is a major feature, and that's what one of the things that probably a lot of people enjoy, is that sometimes the blueprints are really nice. And with the new Frankenstein customization that they introduced, which basically allows you to customize weapons with parts of the blueprint. So you take, you know, the magazine from one blueprint and you put it on another, for example. And that's something very interesting that I have a feeling that some people really enjoy. It's gonna be the minority. I tested it out. It's kind of nice. If it's fancy my fancy, I will try it out. But generally speaking, I don't focus too much about it. But some hardcore fan is gonna absolutely love it, and you know, more power to him. Vehicle skins are of course a massive attraction point in this battle pass. Whether they're actually, you know, in multiplayer they're kind of meh. In Warzone they might actually be used quite a lot. So having them all stick together is a very nice addition. The milsim, I have a feeling milsims get overlooked a little bit when they played because, you know, they're theoretically speaking unnamed characters, you know, NPCs. No, they are playable, but they are not named. So I guess it makes sense because if we take a look, this one was, if I remember from the campaign coalition, you know, we got all these beautiful people where that you know, fantastic, that all have like, you know, a little bit of a unique look and a little bit of a how shall I say, connection point. You kind of get to know some of these characters in multiplayer, and some of them you already know. And then you got like the milsim all the way in the left, and they're like in between here. And let me try to. I know this one is a from the battle pass, but no, it was the other way around. He was in the allegiance, this one. So again, I like the beard. I'm probably, you know, some people are absolutely gonna love it and rock that skin. I've encountered a few in game, and these are of course some variants about on that. But you know, definitely some people are gonna love it. Unfortunately, they're like tucked away a little bit, so some players might skim over them. But that's the nature of the beast. This one was the one that I mentioned. So where exactly were we? Yeah, here we are. Then of course the free weapons, the Vector or the Fennec and the CR56 AMAX are the two big new weapons that came with this battle pass. You of course have the Rytec AMR that you have to unlock through challenges, but this ones you can unlock through battle pass, and they're very, very nice because apparently half the time if they enter something new, it absolutely dominates in the meta. Probably not by accident, but that's game development. That's well, it's a little bit business incentive, you know. If you make new weapons, you know, you want players to use them, so you might make them a little bit better in order to incentivize them to play them. Beautiful PKM skin, again some filler content. The operator finishing move, I don't like this one as much. It's, you know, it would be good for standard operator, but it's not that wow, that cool factor, you know. I mean, compared to the dog, come on, man, who doesn't like the dog? This, like, you know, the dog or this one. 90% are gonna pick the dog, definitely. It's nice, but I'm feeling if you have the dog, then you're gonna use the dog. And of course we have Price's, Captain Price's finishing move, which is of course the Cigar. The Cigar, generally speaking, is not worn by soldiers, since, you know, having to smoke mid-combat, especially if you're going on stealth missions, might not be the best thing. But Price is an exception to that rule, and in his some of his moments in the campaign, you of course see him with a cigar, and I find this one absolutely amazing. And in character, that's what makes it the best about it. You know, they're like stick to the character. Oh. So that being said. Another blueprint. Those are nice, especially, you know, in this case it's a gun I personally don't use, so it might be a nice addition to try it out sometimes and instantly get some attachments for it. But other than that, it's for the skins that we do it. And this one probably looks a little bit too neutral. Filler, filler, filler. Vehicle skins. Another milsim, another USA army dude. Some people in the USA probably get their dicks hard from that, but not me. This legendary watch, I don't think there's any other watch, but this one is an interesting. You can see the minimap on your weapon. That actually opens up quite a little bit of strategic options. As I've tested it, it's not that useful, but you know, it's a little bit easier if you like have to hold a corner and you know move your eyes just a little bit to below and then back up to where you're aiming instead of all the way across. So if like here's your target and here's your iron sight, I'm gonna picture it. What the hell? Okay, mouse broke. Feels bad. So if this is your weapon and this is your dude, and like here's your minimap 2, it's a little bit easier than to look all the way in the corner, you know. This takes less time. Maybe should it in the this takes less time than this to watch. So, you know, the split seconds might save you in combat a little bit. Who knows? But, you know, it's again, like those watches, you gotta put something on there. Because, you know, you don't have any value on them except for a minimap. You know, KD watcher, seeing your KD doesn't actually make you a better player or doesn't actually help you in the fight. This one does, however. Another car skin. I have a feeling they have quite a lot of those. Very nice looking pistol. Again, this is what I mentioned. Like the blueprints are like for the skins that we do them, not necessarily for the attachments. This one looks extremely slick. I have a feeling this one also is going to be extremely popular. Absolutely love this one myself with the Ride of the Valkyries in the beginning. I think this one in game is quite popular. Very slick looking. Again, same thing, like these two together, absolutely amazing skins. These high quality skins, absolutely in love with those. Then this one, for example, it's kind of meh. But hey, can't have everything the best. This is another sim that we covered earlier. Again, some people's gonna use it. Maybe some people that are nationalistic in mindset. Those are, you know, people that wear their own flag proudly. Some Italian guy probably is like, oh, this is amazing, I can play as an Italian guy. So, again, another blueprint. It's for the skin, mainly, that I would say that people do it. I know this one has only 4 attachments, so that means you can put on attachments of your choice. Very nice indeed. Emblem. Again, like as beautiful as the emblems are, not a lot of people are going to use it. It's so unfortunate because, you know, Modern Warfare's filler content is actually, you know, quite decent. Ah, we do have another watch. And the other one is free to for the free to play, what do you call it? Every player can unlock it, so theoretically it's not pay to win. Is this another car skin? Because oh, it is. Okay then. No idea. There's like 2 cars and 2 PKM skins. Like based on the amount of weapons that they have, this doesn't really seem like a something beneficial. A very neutral looking skin. So I have no clue why they add in. It seems a little bit counterproductive to put in the same blueprints or the same, you know, it's a little bit counterproductive to make 2 weapons, you know, have 2 blueprints out of the 10 or so that are available. The stickers, very nice. And The charms, some people like them, some don't. The chopper skin, absolutely lovely compared to last chopper skin that we got. This one is way better, simply because, you know, that's some more. This one has a little bit more flair to it. The other one was more of a recolor with a stripe, a racing stripe on top of it. I mean, this one doesn't even look like a skin, but okay. Some of the, like this one, I have no clue why. You know, this one, yeah, it doesn't seem that, you know, good of a quality when we, you know, because this one is a legendary for the M14 EBR, and then if we go back, this one's also a legendary. I mean, you like. It's not me that the quality seems completely different. So, you know, I don't like that as much. Doesn't really matter in the end, of course. But this one should probably be a blue one, to be honest. Maybe it's legendary because it has 5 attachments. If that's the logic, then I wouldn't agree with it, but I can understand where they're coming from. And again, it's nice that you have labeled basically what is like legendary, or like you know, the best of the best in terms of skins, and what is, you know, a less good skin. Because if these are all, if all legendaries were like this, I would feel less amazing if I go legendary. While if all legendary was more like this one, you know, with like golden bolts, you know, no idea what that is, but like golden finishes, and like slick color, and some matte gloss, and like the silencer, you know, with a little bit of what do you call it, color added to it. That it makes me feel way better for this one than this one. You know, if all legendaries were like this one. So that's something that you know, as a selling point. Luckily, nobody's gonna watch that. Most people are gonna buy that before checking. Like again, this one. You know, I asked D, which one do you consider more legendary worth it? This one, you know, this one, or this one. Most of you will definitely. Can I get them on one screen? Nope. Most of you will say that this one is the worst. This one's pretty good, and this one's also pretty good. Most of you will, and you know, it doesn't take somebody special to see why. It's just qualitatively speaking, there seems to be way more effort put into these two than the other one. For example, this one, you know, it's a little bit. It's also the same. It, you know, it feels like a little bit more effort. This one is more subtle, and you know, should a legendary skin be bombastic or subtle? That doesn't really matter as much. I would say how much effort is put into it. That's a good indicator of how it is. Again, these sprays pretty fun to mess with your opponents if you have the chance. Another watch. Okay, apparently I was completely wrong. There are 3 watches in this Battle Pass. Some people are gonna absolutely love the skin, that I know for sure. And then of course we got the another Bruins that again doesn't feel, you know, it feels like the EBR. This doesn't feel that legendary. But again, don't know the exact criteria, so maybe I'm nitpicking here. But you know, feels like there's a lot of legendary blueprints in there. And this one, for example, I would absolutely consider legendary. Absolutely looks slick, and the gold finishes make it a, you know, it's a subtle, but it's definitely a legendary. So this one and the Origin 12 that we saw earlier, very, very nice skin. And of course some Captain Price. I mean, not that different from the other one. Not that noticeable difference at least. But hey. And then of course we have another vehicle skin. So all in all, like the all-around package is very nice, except for a few, let's say, missteps along the way. Then again, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't really matter that much. Very subtle and slick as well. So this was the Battle Pass review of Modern Warfare for Season 4. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed this. And I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers!